What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Off Market Operator. Today, you guys, we got a good guest who's in from Tulsa, Oklahoma, down in San Diego, recording on the boat. Logan Haskett. Today, we got into a lot of different stuff: how he built his real estate portfolio, what he's doing with syndication and funds, and also his HVAC company and other things as well. We covered a wide variety of topics and conversations. So, without further ado, let's get right into the show. People don't fail at real estate because they suck. They fail because there's too many ways to succeed. That's why I suggest you focus on the most important skill in all of real estate, which is finding deals. I'm Ruud-Johnson, and in this podcast, I share the exact steps I've used to source 400 deals by age 24. This will allow you to do three things: control your deal flow, make unlimited income, and build your empire as an off-market operator. Tell me about this fund, man. You're buying single family, you got the HVAC business. Your backbone is in wholesaling. People listening to this, I think the most powerful thing they can take away from the show is how easy, if they can figure out how to run a wholesaling business at scale, how easy other businesses get. I'll just say, I think it's, in my opinion, wholesaling is the best gateway drug to entrepreneurship, because there's such large liquidity events. You get one deal that can be 40, 50, 60 grand, and it can fund you for a year. So starting out, it's not the hardest business. You pick up the phone, you call some sellers, you get a deal done.
Right.
But growing the scale and learning how to hire and manage and delegate and systemize and become a business owner. If you can do that in real estate, you can do it in realistically any industry, unless it's software and you don't have a brain for that.
Right.
That's powerful. But also talk about this fund, man. And you being 25, obviously it's it's a young age to go out and raise a fund to do anything. But what got you the fund idea? What are you looking to do with it, and why?
Honestly, what got me the idea was I went to an event in Miami a couple months ago.
Was it the syndicating, whatever? What's the name of the guy?
Bridger Pennington?
Yeah.
So Bridger's dad ran a $48 billion fund and took it public, which is obviously a giant number. I mean, that's kind of mind-blowing. If you can think of what management fees he was making every year, crazy. But it just kind of opened my eyes because, I've raised money here and there for smaller stuff, and because we're relatively speaking smaller stuff, I'm comparing prices in Oklahoma to here right now, but
you get a medium home price in San Diego, $1 million.
yeah, it's like $215 in Tulsa.
Yeah.
But it opened my eyes because I sat there and watched these guys get on stage, and no offense but some goofy looking motherfuckers, dude, and they're talking about, I raised $15 million on my first real estate deal, and I'm like, who is giving him $15 million to do his very first real estate deal? Like,
it's out there.
I'm at this point, I'm credible. Like, I've done a ton of real estate deals. I have the history to prove it. So I was like, dude, I'm doing it wrong apparently, because I still use other people's money. Like, I use hard money, banks' money, all that. But this is like truly, the fund model is just truly powerful when you really break it down. Right. Yeah, the scale is just insane, dude. I mean, you raise a $10 million fund, just in your management fee, you're making $600,000 a year. So it's, I don't know what gets better than that. And that's before your investment is even, before you're making money on your investment. So
you're raising a fund to go out and buy what specifically?
So we're not even actually going to be buying anything. We're going to be developing.
Okay.
And I'll kind of get into why. So another reason why I'm starting a fund is because, if you guys haven't noticed recently, lending is getting very, very, very weird, and no banks are wanting to play at all. And I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. And this is just my personal opinion, but I think we're getting ready to see like a real estate winter for probably 2 to 3 years. And I think that's going to be a combination of no banks wanting to lend on anything.
No one to sell their house because
no one's going to sell their house.
3%, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's going to be no inventory. So those two things are like, bam, the foundations for my fund business. So no lending, what do I got to go do? Raise money. No inventory, what do I have to do? I have to make it. So that was kind of my idea behind the fund. And we're going to be developing like light industrial stuff. And
not residential.
Not residential, no.
Why light industrial?
We've talked about doing some like master development communities and stuff like that. We're definitely interested in that model. but not like going and building, house by house or whatever.
Why light industrial?
I just think the demand right now is higher than anything.
I think if there's one asset class that has the safest longevity in commercial, especially, it's industrial. I mean, you look at the amount of, like, e-commerce isn't going anywhere, right? E-commerce is booming.
Yeah.
The amount of companies need storage to run their e-commerce business out of. Yeah, I think, and it's so underbuilt, right?
Exactly.
So underbuilt, especially in tertiary markets and the outskirts of Tulsa, I'm guessing. Even
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's exactly what we're gonna target.
And you're gonna keep them?
Yes, yeah, and we're gonna definitely be developing some cool concepts as well. Kind of my vision for this fund too was like, hey, I want to turn Tulsa into the new Fort Worth kind of thing. Like steal some concepts from there, bring it here, because we're 15, 20 years behind Fort Worth, and we're still a growing city.
In what sense? Growth,
just
population, infrastructure,
jobs, and honestly, like real estate concepts. Like our real estate's just not as cool as theirs, and Fort Worth's obviously booming, so it's a little bit different, but.
So, with the industrial in your fund, where are you going out to get this money? And I guess it's a big jump, right? A couple years ago, you're wholesaling houses. Now you're trying to go raise $10 million or whatever to build light industrial. How are you packaging yourself? How are you branding yourself? And where are you going to get this money? I had a guy on the last show, John, who was running Facebook ads in other countries and bringing foreign capital in to do deals.
Oh wow!
So like, what is your strategy? Are you just friends and family? Are you getting on the phone with people? Like, what's the run? What's the breakdown?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it's Twitter. No, hey, social media is definitely a very important tool.
I'm good friends with like Brandon Turner and a lot of these guys. They raise tens of millions of dollars through Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, and obviously, I don't have a massive following, but I have a decent following across all social medias. I get people that hit me up all the time to invest. And so, I mean, that's going to be a start. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty much going to be slamming the phones. And it's also going to be just meeting people that I already know that have money. I've been in the game for, 4 years now. So I know a lot of people that aren't in real estate that have a lot of money. I know a ton of doctors in the Tulsa area. A lot of oil and gas money in Tulsa. That's pretty much its main industry. And those guys have, ass loads of money. So.
And so, what are you telling them? Like how are you pitching this fund?
I mean, that's kind of like down the road. I don't know that I necessarily like have a pitch right off the top of my head, but I mean, it's basically going to be like every other real estate fund. Hey, this is your returns that we're looking at, and we're looking to smash these returns. And I'm pretty confident that we can with what type of asset we're going after. We can definitely beat out all the apartment syndicators for sure.
And you're getting the management fee, and then you're getting obviously
a split on
the deal. Okay. So is that the long-term game you want to play?
I think so. I think so, because I think after I create the first fund, I'll do a second fund that maybe buys businesses, or whenever that shenanigans slows down, because that's kind of the hot thing right now.
It's all. It's like the thing people forget about that is like, you have to be able to run businesses. It's not so easy to go find an operator like truly that knows the business and have them run it successfully.
Dude, I know some people that are in some deep water with recent acquisitions because of that exact reason right now.
It's not like my thing is like, I think before you go and buy business, you should first build a busin's.
I agree.
To really know like what it's like to work under pressure, have capital that you have to, have people you have to pay out. Like it's not like you're buying a revenue stream, but unless you're buying a SaaS company, which even has its own issues, you're buying a headache.
Yeah.
You're buying to a certain extent. So I think doing roll-ups or industry-specific roll-ups make a lot of sense if you're rolling up a certain industry you already know. Like for you, for example, you grow your HVAC company, you start rolling up HVAC companies. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But the going and buying a random business and crossing your fingers that all gets pushed out on social media, man, is crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, it's like taking wholesaling stuff, and even wholesaling coaching is like tricky enough for these guys to go find deals. Like, dude, you're teaching people that have no idea how to run a business how to go buy companies with extreme leverage. Like, what in the world?
Exactly, 10% down on a freaking, and then they're like, raise the 10% down too.
So to talk to me about social media, man, social media strategy.
Yeah.
Obviously, neither of us have massive followings, right? But you have a brand.
Yeah.
And you have you know, you add your followers together, you have a small stadium of people listening to you every day.
For sure.
You know, what do you why grow it? What are your goals with that? Obviously, that helps with your syndication, but how have you seen impact from that? Because I tell people all the time in my groups and our coaching programs, no matter what industry they're in, like one of the biggest leverage things you have is building a social media brand. Because anytime you meet anyone, a buyer, a seller, anyone, what are they doing? They're going to your Facebook and Instagram.
Exactly.
They don't people don't care about websites.
Yeah.
People don't care about your business card. They don't care about anything else other than going online. Where can they find you? What do you look like? And what do you have going on?
Yeah. No, I mean, my strategy, I don't even know that's a strategy because I don't like to call it that because a brand is who you are, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm not the typical real estate guy. Like I didn't even really get into it, but I was a massive drug dealer in high school. I got sent to a boys' home until I was 18. Had to legally stay there until I was 18. I was into a lot of drugs and partying, and was on the wrong path of life.
You're an entrepreneur, though. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, right? You're.
But I'm tatted up, bro.
Yeah,
like I don't look like the normal guy with the freaking navy blue suit on that's doing commercial real estate deals. So I guess that's like part of my brand is like.
Here's you.
Yeah, just me. And but to speak on that, as far as like leverage and stuff, like absolutely. The biggest thing that it's done for me is I can DM pretty much anyone, and then they go to my profile and like, oh, he has 30,000 followers. That just gives you a sense of credibility, and people can say whatever they want about that, but it's the truth.
It's the reality of the life.
Yeah, it's the reality. Yeah. So
if someone wants to follow you, why there's something going on.
Yeah, exactly.
You're doing something right. People can go buy followers and all kinds of stuff. So But within reason, for sure, I think it's powerful. So, I mean, on that side, right? If you took someone that was brand new into wholesaling, real estate, anything else, what's the blueprint you would give them? Right? They say, hey, Logan, I want to make $250,000 a year.
Yeah.
And I'm in real estate. I'm looking for my first deal.
Yeah.
Are you pointing them in the direction of wholesaling? Are you going to say, hey, go flip a few houses? Like, how would you help them get their foot in the door?
Yeah, I would always shoot someone in the direction of wholesaling first immediately.
Why?
Because it's instant capital if you find a deal.
Okay.
And if you flip a house, there's a lot of stuff that you can do that can break you financially immediately right off the bat.
One deal.
Yeah. Even one rent house, dude. What happens when your freaking main plumbing line breaks and you just spent all of your money fixing up this rent house?
Yeah.
Every last reserve, you're like, hell yeah, I got a renter in there. And then a month later, your main plumbing line breaks and then you got to spend $4,500 to fix it. And you don't have that because you're just getting started in real estate. That's a big issue. And that's what pisses me off about a lot of these people on Twitter, dude. They're just like screaming. They're teaching people how to get crushed.
You see the thing yesterday with that one couple that I think Clay, whatever his name, called them out. Where they're like, they teach buying rentals.
Yes.
And I don't care. Like I don't hate on anyone. Like, everyone got their own thing. I don't care how you make your money as long as you're not stealing or doing anything fraudulent.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they put their numbers out there like we're making $11,000 a month, and someone goes, "Is that gross or net?" They go, "Gross." And they go, "What's your net?" $2,000. I'm like, that's the reality we live in.
Yeah.
Anyone, any company, anytime you hear a number, divide it by half at least, right? So
exactly.
and that's the thing with I own some out of state property, and I was like, I'm gonna get this cheap property, high cash flow. One thing breaks and you're done. You're done.
Your cash flow is done for the year.
At least.
More than likely. Yeah.
At least 2 years. So. I think that's the thing people don't take into account is I had so many people when I was wholesaling. I was doing we were doing a lot of deals, especially some of our peak years where like all we were doing is hammering wholesaling, and they'd be like, "Why aren't you buying these homes, or why aren't you going and flipping, or why?" And I'm like, I have no risk.
Yeah,
like I have zero risk.
No, yeah. And when wholesaling's good, dude, it's a freaking ATM of a business.
Yeah,
like it's amazing.
And that's what I think people have to really understand is like going and doing all this stuff, even though what you're talking about here isn't like. Every business has its own issues, its own complexity, its own things that you have to figure out. So that's awesome, man. So I guess for you, man, what is your how do you define success in your life? I know you have a baby now.
Yeah.
I can tell you guys like to travel. You're out here in San Diego.
Yeah.
So how do you define success? Is it a monetary number you have in your head? Is it what you spend your day to day on? Is it like what's your dream schedule? Like are you a guy you want to be working 12 hours a day? Are you a guy that eventually wants to be 3 hours a day and be with your kids the whole day? Like what does that look like for you?
Yeah. Well, to speak on success for just a second, I think that's an interesting topic. I think success and like fulfillment are two completely different universes. Success money-wise you know, I've always had the number 500 million net worth in my head. Like
500 million?
Yeah, for some reason, it's just always been that. I don't know. So, but yeah.
Like you're not successful until you're at 500 million? Or?
No. I guess that's when I can sit in San Diego and like kick back and be like, you know, finally made it.
Okay. That's a high point too. That's a
no.
But like, are you acknowledging along the way that like, okay, 5 million is a good number, 10 million is a good number, 20 million is a good number?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've just like I said, dude, I'm pretty bad at gratitude, and it's something that I'm trying to work on. But I think it's honestly.
But like, why is it? It's not a skill though. It's like that's the thing with that kind of stuff. I'm like,
yeah.
Why is that held in such a high? I get it can help you be in a better mood, but like,
yeah.
It's everyone has an individual choice, and like, if you want more, you want more. I guess at the end of the day. You know?
Right. Yeah, and like 500 million was just a number that has always stuck with me because I've just always known that I wanted to own a shit ton of real estate. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily like I'm not gonna have a terrible life if I don't hit $500 million net worth. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure I'll be all right if I hit like 50 or 100. You know? But that was just kind of like the big, you know, huge goal.
And are you a guy that's like, I'm willing to sacrifice whatever to get there, work 14-hour days? You're the guy that's like, I'm willing, like Nick Huber put out a couple weeks ago, with kind of my thesis, I'm willing to work X amount of hours per week and live this kind of life. And if I make $100 million doing that, awesome. If I make 50, awesome. If I make $1 billion, awesome.
Yeah.
Like, where do you fall on that spectrum? Because to me, like what I've realized is the input, like time isn't the biggest
It's not.
leverage input when it comes to the output of money.
No.
It's people, it's processes, systems, it's content.
100%. It's honestly productivity too.
Yeah.
Time is kind of like a bullshit metric.
Yes, it's not a good metric. Yeah, because 3 hours a day of sitting down, focusing, and doing something that's meaningful is more people. 10 hours a day, but you're on Slack, you're on Facebook,
right.
you're taking calls you shouldn't be taking. Like,
yeah. And yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I think honestly, like when we talk about are you willing to do anything that it takes, that's a scenario thing for me. Like, if I was gonna meet, I don't know, let's just say some giant CEO, I'd probably sleep in the parking lot that night to meet him. Like, in that case scenario, like I would do whatever it takes. But like, am I gonna sacrifice the life of my daughter and my other, you know, future kids to try to hit $500 million? Like, no. Like, I'm gonna continue to work and grow like machines of businesses, and we'll see where it takes us in life. But I'm also like at this, and here's the interesting thing about that question too, right? Like, life has stages. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm 25 right now. I'm still a very like hyphy person. Like, I like to work, you know, mostly 8 hours a day, sometimes 10 hours, sometimes 12 hours. It just depends on the day. But I don't think right now in my stage of life that I could handle only working like 3 hours a day.
I'm
like, it would drive me fucking crazy.
Yeah, no. I'm not.
So,
and work can mean like, I mean like it's to different people with different things. Some people it's sitting in front of a computer. Some people it's at a job site. So
yeah.
It's all relative, right? But so what is your definition of success?
My definition of success is like finding your true purpose in life. It doesn't even have to be a monetary thing. That's something that I've kind of like reflected on a lot lately, but like, dude, if you are monetarily successful, I think that's great. Like, and I think it's very fucking important just by the way.
It makes life easier,
Yeah. But if you don't have like true fulfillment, I think you're still dead. Like, that's just my personal opinion. You have nothing to wake up for. If your only thing is monetary. And just, I'll double down on this. I think being monetarily successful is super fucking important because it's also a driver for fulfillment. Mm-hmm. Because if you're broke, then you're never going to be happy, more than likely. At least here in America.
Favorite book?
Man Up by Bedros Keuilian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bodybuilder guy, I think, right? Or
yeah.
Looks
owns
like one
Fit Body Boot Camp,
okay.
Big franchise, yeah.
What's it called, Man Up?
Man Up, yeah.
What's it about? Manning up?
Quit being a pussy in life, pretty much, in business and
so the same thing,
life.
10X, all the same concept of be a man. Right?
Yeah. He's just one of my...
Show up, do work.
That book just related with me so much. It like, as a man, almost brought me to tears how much that book related to me. I can't relate to like his immigration stuff, obviously. I'm not an immigrant, but...
Well, you're in Tulsa.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, Tulsa's a... I forget even Oklahoma's a state sometimes.
Oh,
so.
I know.
Yeah.
You guys in California, you know. have it too good out here. Forget the other world exists. But
Okay, favorite podcast?
favorite podcast. Man, there's a lot of. I mean, Bedros Keuilian's a really good one. Honestly, my favorite probably is Brad Lee's Dropping Bombs.
That's a good one.
I think he's
hardcore.
He gets people to really open up. I've noticed, like, I've listened to certain guests on different podcasts, and they just don't talk the same as they do with Brad, and I guess that's why he's one of the best closers, right?
Yeah, he's a real dude. He gets people open for sure. What, you could spend a day with any entrepreneur currently alive, who is it?
Any entrepreneur currently alive. Man, you're hitting me with some good questions that I got to think about for a second. I like it. Man, I would say the first one that kind of pops up in my head is Andy Frisella.
Good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Just a hardcore dude. I'm so into that, like, and I know a lot of, you know what, if you want to talk shit on it, fuck you. But I'm into that, like, hardcore, you know, kind of stuff.
Well, you're only into that too if you've been in the weeds of growing a business.
Exactly.
The people that say, "Oh yeah, whatever, it's too hardcore," I'm like, you haven't seen the dark times where you're up at night and you're like,
yeah,
how am I making payroll?
Exactly.
Like that's the kind of stuff those guys talk about. Like,
yeah.
Like we had John on last time. He's a guy at SMBs, right? Like he's in it, and you know he answered that question with Phil Knight because. He said Phil Knight was in the book talks about in Shoe Dog how he was paying on payroll and credit cards. Like that's people don't see that side of success, and I think guys like Andy had so many years of that it's just like if you can't relate to it because you haven't been through it.
Yeah, Andy slept on a fucking mattress for 10 years in a supplement store. Like, if there's anyone I want to talk to, it's him because of pretty much that reason there. I mean, now his company's worth over $1 billion. First Form is a massive, massive supplement company, and not to mention all the other stuff that he's ventured out. Yeah.
Okay. Any dead entrepreneur for a day that's already passed? Obviously, we're young, so we don't know a ton of them, but
yeah. Dude, you're hitting me with these questions, bro, that I got to think about. Probably Carnegie. Probably Carnegie. See, like, how he took over the world at one point.
Was the king of everything.
Yeah. Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan. I'm going to call him an entrepreneur.
Yeah. That dude is a fucking conqueror.
Yeah.
I mean, fundamentals is he's an entrepreneur for sure.
What? How could people get in contact with you if they want to learn more about what you got going on and talk to you? Are you open? Are you, like, when people DM you, is like, how do you kind of handle that stuff?
I respond to most DMs. If you DM me some stupid fucking question, I'm probably not going to respond. But other than that, like, I'm pretty open on social media. I try to be, try to not be an asshole to everybody, and I try to be an open book about everything. But yeah, you can just look me up, Logan Haskett, on every single platform and find me.
Can we spell the last name?
Haskett.
Love it. Cool. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for hanging out for the last hour or so here with Logan and I talking about real estate. He started in wholesaling and has spanned out to do some super cool things that I think a lot of you guys will get value from. So as always, wherever you consume this, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, please follow us, subscribe to us, give us a like, a comment, a share on your story. It means the world, and reach out if you guys have any suggestions, comments, or guests you want to see on the show. And as always, as I always say, you are only one deal away.